Hello and welcome to the Techie Podcast. I'm your host Sukriti Advanshi. In today's episode, we will talk about IoT, edge computing, cloud, 5G, and AI, and why techies need to start building competencies around them in 2021. And to get the right inputs and insights, today I'm in conversation with Vivek Sharma, the Managing Director, India, Lenovo Infrastructure Solutions Group. Folks, Vivek is currently the managing director for Lenovo Data Center Group in India. He is responsible for driving profitable growth for the company in the region. His leadership role focuses on customer centric solutions as well as managing an extensive product portfolio, including server, storage, software services, and networking. Welcome to the show, Vivek. I'm delighted to have you.
Thank you, Sukriti. It's my absolute pleasure to be on the show. And some of the topics that you mentioned, IoT, edge computing, 5G, cloud. Uh, I think, and the tech competency and how it is getting changed and what people should look at are really hot topics today. And the pandemic actually has accelerated, I think, quite a bit of this process overall. They're saying in the last 1 year, the digital transformation achieved is probably what would have happened maybe in the next 3 to 5 years. So I look forward to the conversation.
Same here, Vivek, and I'm sure our conversation is going to help our listeners. So I think we should just get started. So to start with, I would want you to share that what kind of impact 5G is powering to these key technologies like IoT, edge, and cloud. What do you think?
Okay, so let's just put, at a very basic level, we look at 5G, and what will it mean for people? People associated with, a much multifold times faster than 4G mobile connection overall. But apart from that, apart from faster connectivity speeds, what 5G brings is ultra low latency, greater bandwidth, and this will have a big impact, from a perspective of the associated technologies that get used. You mentioned IoT, for example, edge computing, and maybe even AI to a large extent overall. So let me just, quickly maybe take one line on each of these on, how will this impact. So if you look at and what else 5G will bring, because one is the low latency and the other is the update that you will see from an application perspective, because they'll probably transform to the next level because of the advantages that 5G brings. So let's start with the edge computing. I think 5G and edge complement each other in a very, very big way, because both will significantly improve the performance of applications and enable huge amounts of data to be processed and in real time overall. So, if you look at 5G, it brings the speed, that we require, and edge computing will bring the latency, low latency right into the network. So what that will mean is, while 5G increases the speed manifold, as I said earlier, the edge computing part of it will reduce, the latency by being part of the network itself and being that much closer to the end user. And similarly from an IoT perspective, because what is happening today, the cloud is also moving towards the edge. So even with higher speeds, there will still be bottlenecks, because the processing and the GPU and the and the video demands will also increase accordingly overall. So if that can be done on the edge and relevant information can be sent to the core, is how 5G will complement edge computing and IoT both, because the number of devices are expected to go through the stratosphere as more and more of these technologies converge and merge.
Wonderful. I think that was a very, appropriate to start with when you talk about these technologies, Vivek. Moving on to the next one, since we spoke, you mentioned that this has already started creating an impact over several verticals. How do you think that the smart verticals are embracing these technologies, and how rapidly is this happening?
So see, this is I get asked that question. People also ask which verticals are adopting it first. I think it's not a matter of choice. One thing that COVID brought out, very clearly is that enterprises have to accelerate the journey of digital transformation. Some of these technologies and IT enablement are no longer a necessary tool. They can make or break your business depending on how you use them overall. So if you look at the 5G evolution and the marriage of these technologies, and as they merge into 5G overall, it's going to have an impact on industries across. Take entertainment and education, e-health, connected vehicles, for example, traffic systems, mobile cloud gaming. And these are diverse fields. Each of these, and agriculture, and each of these is going to get impacted in a very, very major way. Overall, to give some examples, on how this can happen, look at maybe increased use of IoT in agriculture to efficiently grow crops, because the data can be shared real time. Productions line will change because the equipment that you have in your factories, the prediction of what is going to fail and when, it will become that much more easier, because it will almost be a seamless interaction overall. E-health, I think, health will be a very, very major beneficiary overall, because, the doctors say that when you're wearing a wearable device for medicinal purposes, you're more conscious of your health. And with the advent of IoT and wearable devices, we are already seeing that acceleration. For example, I'm very conscious now of the device that I have on my wrist, and keep a tab of what I'm doing right and maybe what I need to improve on. So, with the advent of this, just think of it. People who can't travel or will not have access even in the remote areas, combine 5G, edge computing, and the application base that we talked about, and the scans that you do at the end, or the reports that you collect, can actually be shared in real time with doctors back at the specialist, at the other locations. So it's going to have a very big transformational impact on societies, on industries as we move forward. On however a caveat, this is not going to happen overnight. Some of this will fall into place as we move along, and that is why there'll be a balance on how this gets rolled out. 5G will not be available everywhere, which is why edge computing technologies like edge computing will become more and more critical. So I gave you manufacturing example. Look at the plants; they are mostly at remote places, and 5G may not get rolled out as it gets rolled out in the rest of the places overall, similar to the rollouts that we have seen earlier. So if you put an edge computing device there, do the data processing at the edge, still use the 4G technologies, and as it goes up, seamlessly integrate into the 5G part.
Wonderful. I think that absolutely makes sense, and a use case that you've just mentioned, Vivek, that's very helpful in terms of understanding how it's being embraced. Thank you for that. Moving on to the next one, which would be very critical for our listeners here, that what are the skills that leading tech companies are looking for in this domain particularly?
I think, if you look at the trends that are coming out clearly, most of the large tech companies have called out two things. One is the need for more techies and technical skills, and the other is that this transition is already happening overall. So learning and unlearning is a constant part of our industry overall, and now with the space of things, it becomes even more imperative. But some of the areas, that we will see very clearly uh, uh, emerging and the skill sets being demanded overall will come in areas of AI, multi-cloud, IoT, software-defined solutions, and analytics. Just to name a few overall. Also skills, from a perspective of data analytics specifically on what is needed there. I think these are the skills which will be in hot demand as we go along, and industry is already looking at on how to reskill people on some of these. The industry is also stepping forward, and I think from a perspective of market and the changes that needs to be brought out for this overall is also converging to make sure that the skill set on these areas is enabled much more. So niche skill sets in cloud, multi-cloud, AI, data analytics is what I would call out.
Great. So, we just spoke about the kind of skill sets. Any particular, profiles that you think would be higher in demand? Any of the few that you would want to name, if you can?
I think analytics is a easy one. Anything because ultimately the amount at which data is getting generated, you would have tools and technology to put it in a shape, but you would need a skill set from a human perspective to make sense of it on what is coming. So I think in the areas of analytics and data migration and data sets is would be the first one.
Thank you for that. This is the last one, Vivek, and I would want to know that how would you compare the Indian and the global tech talent right now? Because with the rise of gig economy and project-based things that especially the tech professionals have started taking up, how would you compare them?
So two things there. I think India for a long time has been in a sense Indian tech talents does represent a very competent pool of globally mobile professionals now. We see this in India and we see it outside also. Overall, I mean, so that is the migration part of the technology pool that has happened. But if you look at locally also, just to give an example, take Bangalore for example. It is amongst the 3 largest hubs for startup for AI. And that is possible because of a local pool of talent being available. But that said, do we need more? Of course we do. Overall, so I think from an incubation perspective, India is a fertile ground. However, the reskilling of some of skills that we have on some of these technologies is moving at a very, very fast pace. So, we need to keep up with that overall. But I think it's a fine balance, and I don't think I would be wrong in saying that India would continue to be a talent pool overall as we go along. But the surplus that is needed for skill technologies is extremely, extremely high. I mean, it is expected, there was a Korn and Ferry report on this that says that almost 1.1 million surplus of highly skilled technology professionals are required by 2030 overall. So it'll move at a fast pace and hopefully both from an education and industry perspective, it will go step in step to making sure that we remain at the cutting edge of this.
Absolutely, Vivek, and I'm sure very soon we'll be able to fill up the skill gap that all of us have been talking about, because there's a sudden demand which the market is not able to fulfill in terms of having the right supply for those tech professionals. And just looking at those things, I think we've been very hopeful with the global tech talent demand. Thank you so much, and thank you for sharing such fantastic insights with us. I'm sure your inputs will help our listeners explore better career and growth opportunities in the coming time, Vivek.
Thank you, Sukriti. I quite enjoyed the conversation. I think these are very relevant topics in today's tech world, at least overall. Uh, and as we move forward, they will become more and more. Uh, what would be the right word for that? They'll become more and more crucial and, like I said, an integral part of our lives. Uh, and then, uh, you know, how technology will affect or impact us even further overall.
Absolutely, Vivek,
Thank you.
and absolutely, I completely agree with you. And the kind of pace that our market has been, upgrading themselves with is something that we are really looking forward to. All these upcoming technologies, and I think everybody is just getting ready to embrace it in all the possible manners. So, listeners, I hope you enjoyed our conversation and it is going to be very useful to you. Thank you for listening to us. I will be back with some more tech podcasts super soon. Till then, stay safe and stay tuned to TechGig for all the latest tech updates.